Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Chivalry 2 stream here on Twitch. As always, I am joined today by the one and only Moon Moon. Thanks for being here with us, Moon.
It's good to be here. I was holding in a sneeze for like the last 3 minutes there, just really hoping that I wasn't gonna do it. I think we're good now though. So
Okay, good. Don't die from
Whew.
the sneeze.
But we're good. Hey everybody, it's good to see you.
Hey, everybody in chat. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. This is our first, no, this is our second post dev stream since Tenossian Invasion came out. The last stream was with the one and only Buckley, Ryan Buckley, who works on audio. So if you missed that stream, definitely check it out. Buckley's
That was a
always a
great
fun
one.
guest to have. Yeah. Uh,
I
and
feel like our streams always highlight when we have like other stuff. I mean, you and I are pretty on. No, I'm just kidding. But like I always feel like we get a nice highlight when other people are on and stuff too. And we just have to give that extra effort when you guys are stuck with us. So get ready, it's going to be a good one.
they're not stuck with us, you know.
Oh yeah, the coolest hangouts over here.
Absolutely. I want to give, well, not necessarily a shout out to us, but a little pat on the back. Since Steam launch and since the Tenossian Invasion update, we've actually sold 300,000 units on Steam.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed, quite a few more people on the battlefield, maybe not necessarily knowing what they're doing. Uh, you know, Give those new players
Perfect
a
time to
little
jump
extra
in.
time to figure things out.
I think it
But
definitely
yeah.
surpassed all our expectations with just how awesome the community has come together with the Steam launch, and I'm really excited to kind of keep that moving forward with the momentum.
Absolutely. And speaking of momentum, well, we've kind of been touching on this, over the past couple months or so, that we're building up towards the reinforced update, which will be cross-platform parties. And in between now and then, we have kind of some smaller fixes that we wanted to just kind of let players know about. Um, so though, in an ideal world, there will be a smaller update between now and 2.6 that'll touch on some smaller but still important issues, some balance, things like that. Um,
Yep.
I'll start with like what I think. I saw somebody in chat asking about, which was like anti-cheat stuff. So we have seen some cheat stuff happening in game. Obviously, if you've been on Reddit, you've seen clips and stuff like that. We're very privileged to have a very robust moderation team, and in conjunction with EAC, which is if you go to report somebody in game, you'll get like a little dialog box. You can select a reason for reporting them. Then those reports come right to us, and then we can take
Yep.
action very quickly after getting those reports. So the best way to report somebody is to use that in-game option. Um, but there will be uh, further efforts made by us, like on the technical side. I'm hesitant to give the details on it just because I don't want to make anything any worse. But I will say that we're implementing more anti-hack measures, and that's something that is on our radar. I know in particular, like the Asia regions have been struggling with that kind of stuff, so it is something that's at the forefront of our mind.
Yeah, and especially with the Steam launch too, we knew there was going to be an influx of just people in general, of all kinds, bring in different attitudes and people trying things out and people just playing the game normally. So I just want to give a shout out to our mod team who's been super on top of it, giving us the efforts, and we try to stay on top of it. But we wouldn't be anywhere near as prepared if we didn't have such an awesome kind of like volunteer team behind us. So
Absolutely. And now that I'm thinking about it, in addition to that, we're also going to be providing more transparency for people who get a mute or a ban in game. So
yeah,
there'll actually be a little bit easier way to figure out why you may have been muted or banned in game. You'll kind of get like a little reason in game now. Well, not now, sorry, but in a future update. So
it's
that's something
in
that
the
we're
works.
also
Yeah.
working on. Yes. Uh,
Every little bit helps too.
yeah.
Just keep things kind of clear and uh, just yeah. No, I didn't have anything to add to that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I see a lot of chatter going on in chat. There was one thing I wanted to address because it's actually quite funny. The Bill Door asks about there's a message in game that happens right now, and it says you were killed by crustacean soup, or I think it is actually soup the crustacean or something, some variation of it. But the funny thing is there was a bunch of like new UI stuff done, and all of
Yeah.
the names of the widgets were basically named the same thing. Uh,
We had a bunch of
yeah,
default widgets, and
default
that was
names,
one of
yeah.
them.
So it's not necessarily a bug, it's just kind of an oversight. It does not mean there's some OP person in your game named Crustacean Soup killing you. It's just a UI bug. But
I
yeah.
don't know. I think I kind of like that conspiracy of this secret crustacean hiding in the code of the game.
I
So
know. It's like I saw a post on it. They're like, "Who is this guy? He's in every single one of my games." Like,
yeah,
no.
no, he's killing it.
We have some other really great comments from Zamboni Killa and Anchorman, who said the servers are looking very healthy right now, and these servers are packed. Love to see it. We love to
And
see it
yeah, and
too,
we're keeping an
obviously.
eye on all sorts of that, all sorts of elements of that, whether it's like player population or stability and things like that. So I know we have currently, I think we're pretty happy with things for the most part, but we also have a lot of notes on ways we want to improve them. Some of that's just the if anybody experiences desyncs, we're aware of those, and we have some stuff in the works to help that in the future. And yeah, I mean, I think overall we're doing pretty well, consider all things considered for the Steam launch.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. There was one other question I saw about
Yeah, we're already jumping
FFA.
into a great list of Q and A's.
Yeah,
So this is
I'll
a
kind
good
of try
start.
to
Yeah,
bounce back and forth here because I want to give people a
yeah.
chance in chat to ask if they've got something on their mind. I did want to see, or I did want to answer an FFA question. I think we may have mentioned it once before that we are looking at more FFA maps in the future. I know the FFA is
Mhm.
feeling a little bit sad because they were swapped to the server browser, but you're still on our radar, and there will be some new
Yeah.
stuff coming for you in the future.
I think I was in a discussion recently about that too, and we definitely
Oh,
want to give you guys some attention in the future. I can't talk about timelines, but no, we definitely know, and it's a whole community that's been with us from the beginning. So we get you guys. Don't worry.
in the most recent patch that'll be coming, and this will probably be before 2.6, but I just want to leave it open ended. Because sometimes things happen, and it could end up that this gets merged as 2.6. But for now, an update between them. One of the key things that'll be in there is like a bunch of map balance stuff. So there'll be map balance changes coming to Aberfell, Ascandir, and Bodwin. In particular, Ascandir and Bodwin's been something that we watched very closely. We saw when those maps originally came out for Steam launch and Tenossian Invasion that they were very defense favored. And we saw that pretty quickly on, so we actually made changes last patch, which was 2.5.1, but there are some additional ones coming. This will be in 2.5.3. Basically, to make things a little bit easier for attackers in Bodwin, in particular, stages 1 and 2. Basically, shuffling around the health and the time of certain things. So, for stage 1, for example, um, there'll basically be more time for attackers to attack. And then in stage 2, we'll be lowering the health of catapults and ballistas, basically allowing for the front portion of Bodwin to be easier to attack, but obviously not too easy because we want to keep things as even as possible. We aim for
Yeah.
50-50 a lot of the time.
Yeah, and especially to with one balance patch that was already initiated for the first patch, the LD team is really on top of it. So we already have the second one as well. Aberfell is something that we've been looking at. We look at the stats across all the maps and just kind of prioritize what the order should be in terms of how things are balanced. So Coxwell was one that we addressed recently, and there was a new spawner bug introduced about the peasants not always spawning, and that's also going to be addressed. I'm just trying to think of the timeline for that one. Check. I think it's the next patch. So
Yeah, it is marked for this one, so all things withstanding, it should be included in
yeah,
here as well.
yeah.
And
I think the
yeah,
safe thing to say is it's in the plan.
it's in the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it comes out, anything is subject to moving around based on how it affects the overall stability of a patch, and yada yada yada, technical stuff.
Yada yada. Yeah. But we do definitely have some planned highlights to go over. So we were talking a little bit about the map balance. One of the other ones that we were aiming for in this patch was Aberfell, and so we talked about Bodwin. For Aberfell, we feel well. The stats show, and we've experienced ourselves in game that stage one is a little bit too difficult for attackers as well. So we're going to be raising the points given to carryable pigs and peasants from 34 to 40. So players only have to bring back 25 instead of it says 3. I think it's 30 here.
Oops.
And then the stage 2 is also a little bit difficult for attackers. I think um, the structure is pretty defensible overall, and so we've made some adjustments there. So the defender spawn time should be just slightly slower. It's going to be 15 seconds from 12 seconds, and that'll give the attackers a chance to kind of overtake a little bit, and at least get those bombs rolling before the next wave kind of comes in. So
One, I think I forgot to mention Ascandir. Ascandir, actually, we went a little bit too far in one direction. So in stages 2 and 3, we'll actually be making them a little bit more defender friendly by increasing how fast the players will respawn on the defending team, as well as shortening the amount of time in stage 3 to make that a little bit easier, which may not mean a whole lot when you're hearing values being thrown at you. But the gist of all of what we're saying is that map balance
mhm.
is something that we're taking into consideration all the time. We have a lot of back end stats that we're able to use to track that information, as well as stuff that we read on all of our social media, like on Reddit. We have Feedback Friday threads that we go through. We have the feedback channel over on our Discord that we read, specifically for feedback. So if we find, if defense is getting a little bit ragged on in a certain map, obviously we can go back and tweak that
Yeah.
information.
And if you think about map balance as kind of a needle along a line, you have the initial release of the map, and it usually falls on either the too hard or too easy for attacker side. And then we'll make a balance change. Sometimes it'll move it a little bit, sometimes it'll move it a little bit beyond the middle, and then it's kind of like this refining tune of getting it just kind of just right. So you can see this example when we have a second balance patch coming right in for these guys. But overall, I think it's they had a great start. So,
Absolutely, I think so too. I think the reception of Askindir and Bodwin in particular, with of course with all of the Tenossian related content, has gone over extremely well. I think that players have enjoyed like the new environment, obviously the new faction, everything that comes along with it, different types of objectives, which is something that obviously everybody on the team is very excited for and excited continue to be excited for with future maps is exploring these new types of objectives. So something that we always keep our eye on is community suggestions when it comes to stuff they want to see in the game. So we may not acknowledge that type of feedback, but it's always something we're keeping in our mind and we're sharing in Slack with the rest of the team when we see some cool ideas from you guys.
yeah, definitely. And we have surveys as well too, depending on what the criteria is. So you might have surveys for different parts of the team. Design might want surveys on any new weapons that go in. You'll have level design who wants surveys on. I think one of the recent ones was just like what your favorite objectives are. So we were asking our community testers. We were asking internally. We were getting just kind of comments from the feedback channels and things, and that should help drive some of the future stuff that we're working on. So
Absolutely. I'm just trying to read through some of this
no worries. I saw
chat
one
here.
question about the 40-player mixed modes. Yeah, so it was all
Yeah.
the plan was always to just because of real estate on the homepage, we just temporarily removed 40-player mix to make way for the Midsummer Brawl and have my game up here. But that is only temporary, so we will be bringing the 40-player mix back. If you can't wait, you can also find it in the server browser right now. It's just one extra way.
And if you haven't been in the server browser since the Steam release, the server browser is is bopping now. There's quite a few people
That's a
over
good way to
there.
describe it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check out the server browser if you haven't already. The server browser is available now to console as well, so it opens up, all three, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC can all access the same the same server. Uh,
Especially the duels. I think duels are really popular right now. So it's
oh
fun to
yeah,
see. and get my butt absolutely whooped every single time these days. Like, if there was ever a time
Yeah.
where I was a winner, it's not now.
Somebody else on our team was talking about how they were going up against some people in the duel servers and just getting their butt handed to them. They were like, I don't know if I'm just bad or these guys are just like insanely good, but some of you guys in the duel servers are on another level.
I was watching a user's Twitch stream recently, and they were in a duel server. I kind of just in and spawned as a peasant, and I said, "Okay, I'll take this person on." And I forgot that my health was basically just half of what it normally was, so I basically got one hitted. And I said, "Maybe that's enough for duel servers for me for today."
Maybe I'll just watch.
Oh
Um,
man.
the last thing I do want to give a small nod to, because I obviously don't want to get too specific about it, is that the team is aware of a few exploits and crashes and stuff like that that are happening as well, and a number of those will be addressed in 2.5.3. You obviously, as I mentioned, don't want to get into the details, but those are things that are always on our mind, as well as making the game and the playing experience for everybody as fair as possible.
Yep, definitely.
I see a question from Flashin' Noob who wants to know, will there be more Tenossian cosmetics? Specifically night. Oh, I lost the comment. Something else. Uh,
Yeah, that was a piece of feedback that came in. Sorry to interrupt,
no,
Jen.
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that was a piece of feedback that even we kind of felt before release, and it just kind of came down to a matter of bandwidth. But keeping that in mind, I think we can say that there's more coming at some point.
I
So
think it's fair to say, in general, that there's always more cosmetics coming.
in
we
general,
are,
more. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd like to
our
figure out what I can say. Yeah, there's more.
everything.
So.
Well, not everything, but our character art team, and we've had somebody on from our character art team in a past stream, is definitely expanding. I'd say generally Torn Banner as a studio has really been expanding and continues to expand all the time. So we're able to take on, a little bit more than we were before. And one of those things I think that we're able to put a little bit more behind is things related to character art and customization and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're able to put a little bit more focus on that. So I can say with
Mhm.
confidence that there definitely will be more skins. What those are specifically, you're gonna have to wait and find out. I can't spoil it.
No spoilers. Actually, kind of, I saw a question earlier that was like, "Oh, how many team members are there?" I think we can talk about that. Do you remember what number you were, Jen?
25, maybe?
25? Oh, I must
I,
have been.
I,
Okay, Jen and I
yeah.
became part of the company very similar times. I think I was 26 or 27.
Yeah, you were right after
And
me, so it's definitely around there. And that's,
yeah,
2 years ago.
we're at about 70 now. So
Yeah.
do with that information what you will, but it's very exciting. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, we definitely know about the armor differentiation
Yeah.
between the light and heavy armor set, so we're discussing that as an ongoing thing for sure.
I think
All
ideally,
right.
I think it's safe to say that we want to flesh out Tenosia uh, as a whole,
Mhm.
so we'll expect to see them on par with like other factions as much as possible.
Yeah. I have a question for the community here, just because I'm seeing some notes on this. For the join in session, are you guys talking about matchmaking, or is this also a bug specifically joining a friend in a server browser? If you guys can clarify that for me, I can make a note to pass on to the team. Thanks, guys.
I think the problem with inviting somebody while you're already in a game, uh, oh, I guess that's a different what Garter just said. Joining somebody who's already in a game is a little bit more difficult because the odds are the game's already full. Uh, but wanting to join from the friends list sounds like a reasonable request.
Yeah, there's some semantics around it that I'm trying to remember. So I can't comment on it too much. I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
yeah, we can let the team know, and that's no problem. That's part of what Jen and I do. So
Yeah, of course. Speaking about stuff that we do, I do want to give a little shout out as well to the actual update of 2.6 and what all is contained in 2.6 because I
yeah.
know that cross platform parties is obviously something that's very important to a lot of people. So obviously, the big ticket item in the reinforced update,
Obviously.
obviously, is cross-platform parties. And we're hoping to show that off pretty soon. Maybe in the next Twitch stream, we'll be able to give you guys a peek at how that's looking. Um, and that will include parties between Steam and Epic, if I'm not confused. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good clarification to make too, because in the in the code world, basically, you have Steam and Epic, which are treated as two different platforms for all intents and purposes, and that's why that work needed to go into the cross-platform parties section as well, because it's all very intertwined with how everything's going to be functioning.
hmm
So
So whether you're on Steam, Epic, Xbox, or PlayStation, once 2.6 comes around, you'll be able to party with each other. And obviously,
Game Boy, Sony Fridge,
wait a minute,
no.
Nintendo Switch? No. Don't get any rumors started.
That's what I specialize in.
I do also want to mention, while we're talking about party stuff, is there has been a bug where Xbox will drop parties, um, and we do know about that issue. We're hoping that when we introduce the cross-party functionality, that will be reduced or completely eliminated, and if it's not, we'll be able to do some further investigative work on that afterwards.
Yeah, it's all lumped into that overarching plan for 2.6. So we definitely want to. We have our eyes on it for sure. I think it's in one of our ongoing spreadsheets of just things that you guys are caring about. And yeah, we definitely hear you.
Yeah, I think that might be interesting to the community, but internally, between Moon, myself, everybody in the marketing department, we have like this big chart or big list of the most talked about community issues that we can go over at any time. And that's basically how we track everything that you guys care about. So even if it's not being actively talked about by myself or, anybody on the dev team, it doesn't mean that we don't know about it and aren't aware of it. It's just, realistically slotting that in with everything else that has to go on.
Yeah, definitely. There's always a balance between what the company overall has planned, what kind of like marketing beats are great to hit, what the community wants, and so we're always acting sorry as a voice for you guys. And actually, it was as recent as this week that I was talking to Jen and some of the marketing team, and I said, hey, like I really like how the feedback is going, but I think in the interest of highlighting things better for you guys, for the things that you guys care about, we want to rework the page a little bit. So I came up with a new kind of feedback format that I've been working on, and it helps split between kind of like the feedback items and the bugs that you guys are experiencing, and highlights things a little bit easier for people. So I'm hoping that kind of helps improve things a little bit too. But overall, yeah, we've always been very dedicated to you guys in terms of bringing things to the team, and you can see that in, I can't even name a specific thing because since launch we've been taking stuff in. A lot of the bug fixes are driven by you guys in terms of what we're seeing, and a lot of feedback items. And obviously, as a team, we can't address everything, or at least not in the time period that people are expecting. But we are spending a lot of time finding the right times to do things for that. And so, yeah.
One of those fixes that's not bound to a specific update. I see a couple of people mentioning it a few times is the helmet glitch, the no helmet glitch. Don't worry,
Mm-hmm.
I know about it in particular. It's on the to-do list. I know that bugs that affect your guys' customization is very frustrating because some of you are diehard. You don't want to wear your helmet. You just want to have your cool hair, which I totally get. I'm also a fan of no helmet.
Flowy,
Yeah.
majestic do. Yeah.
Except for now, because everybody should be wearing flower crowns. And if you're not, then get out. But otherwise,
See,
the no
that's the
helmet bug.
conspiracy right
Yeah. Yeah.
there.
We're forcing the helmets on so that you have to wear the flower crown. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but yeah, no, I'm definitely one of those players that loves to go no helmet a lot of the time. But I mean, it really depends. I'll change it up because a lot of the helmets.
Yeah, some of the helmets are pretty dang cool. So,
Speaking of helmets as well, we know that some of the Steam exclusive helmets are very popular and more people are wearing them. And so we've said it before and we'll say it again that we have those are timed exclusives, so they're going to be released to everybody else eventually, and we can't comment on it until then. But they will be available to you guys in the future for sure.
Yeah. Don't worry, it'll come. Console getting the helmets to Shiv 1 helmet. We just answered your question, Obey Blazer. We just answered it.
Answering it before it gets asked. Are you?
Last but certainly not least, I do want to touch on the kind of console specific issues. Um, I just want to let the console community know that, things like your requests for in-game chat, ability to rebind controls, wanting to change your FOV, all that kind of stuff that is on our radar of obviously how frequently they are requested. We can't commit to them specifically, but we are currently testing feasibility on a few different console related changes. The big issue, and we've kind of touched on this before about console related changes, is maintaining performance, obviously, not wanting to risk any memory related changes. So that kind of thing, it could end up that certain changes are omitted from Xbox and PS4 because they have a lower memory requirement. Like for example, there's one bug that we've been tracking where Xbox One and PS4 will sometimes spawn players with blood or like burned, and that is something we know about. But it is also specific to last gen consoles, just because memory restrictions exist, and that's something that we have to kind of deal with when it comes to consoles. But yada yada yada. I do want to let console players know that those things are on our radar, and we know that they're highly requested. Um, and we're hoping
Yeah,
to
and to
provide
give
some
some
more
clarity there.
concrete information in the future.
Yeah, to give some clarity there for why it actually does look like that is it's because what you're seeing there, I think is the default armor. So it's pre-customization, it's already loaded into memory, and then it's just a matter of you guys or your characters taking on the actual customizations that you find. So yeah, we definitely know about that one for sure.
I don't want console to feel like their issues aren't important or they're being ignored because they're definitely important, and we're
Oh, for
going to
sure.
be they're on our to-do list and are to look into and to investigate and all that kind of stuff, basically to try to make the best playing experience that we can across all the different generations and platforms and all that kind of stuff.
And a lot of our developers play on console at least half the time. So we're totally in that community too, and we have that voice for sure.
Yeah. We're going to be jumping into game here quite soon. I'll give you guys a few moments just to kind of get your questions out if you have any questions about stuff that we talked about today, um, stuff that you think that we should know about, questions specific to us, you know, any kind of fun stuff you want to talk about. I do see the questions about the peasant hat, and I'm sorry to say that the peasant hat is kind of a special item. There may be opportunities to earn it in the future, but right now it's kind of a closed group based on community participation, community involvement, that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah,
can't give that to you quite yet.
the actual methods are pretty black box right now for you guys, but it's I will say it is possible to earn them, but we won't be talking about that today for sure.
Abyss Gamer says that we should have a green peasant cap for
Yeah,
Tenossian.
I saw the question about the Coxwell map, and you're right, Bessis. I remember we went into a little joining us where we have a bug where Agathian players on the last stage will not spawn as peasants, so it can be a little bit hard to kind of distinguish between who the last player is and who the others are. And we know about that one. I think we have it slated in the plan for this coming patch that should be resolved. Yeah.
Another question I saw from Zamboni Killa was about horses. Um, will we be adding horses to older maps? I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to see more horses. In addition to more horses, we're also going to see less horses because in the future we will be adding horse free options so that the Tenossian Invasion, sorry, the maps from Tenossian Invasion will be available in the regular 40 player and 60 player queue without horses in those. So that's something that's upcoming. So there won't be a completely separate queue for Tenossian Invasion and 64 and 40 player. So if you want to play those maps in those queues, that will be available in the future. In terms of horses coming to other maps, I'm gonna say there's definitely gonna be more horses.
I mean, we got them. We might as well use them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody for all their feedback recently, from the start of this discussion, from before, from Steam launch, and even previously. Yeah, we try to take it on and pass it on to the team as quickly as possible. And I think the 64-player maps without horses is a great example of that, where we immediately were able to react and be like, okay, we can start figuring this out for you guys. So
Yeah, for sure. And I see, people wishing that they could have 64 plus horses, and I think we wish that too. But the problem is, basically a performance restriction that horses kind of count as a player when they're on the map. So in order to maintain the best playing performance possible, we did limit it down. So basically, a horse counts for a person. So that's why that exists.
Cool.
I will answer your question about the level 1,000 cosmetic question. There's nothing in the plans for that. Congratulations on reaching level 1,000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a lot of hours and a lot of gameplay. Level exclusive cosmetics is not something that we're currently working on. You never know. It could be something in the future, but not something we're currently doing.
Yeah, for sure. Brown Superman's almost there. That's awesome.
34 more levels? 34. Gosh. That's...
All right, well, they haven't seen your level yet, Jen. You ready to show off?
A lot of my... I have no excuse. Hang on. Let's get
firing up my game right now.
Yeah. Bess says I am just level 15. There's no shame in being just level 15. We're happy to have you here regardless of your level.
Some of the most fun that I have too is being at a level, because then you kind of experience the full range of weapon unlocks as you're going, and you get to try things out, and then after you unlock everything, then you kind of get to pick and choose what your favorites are. Let's see.
I'm loading. Sure. All right. Where is... Oh, hello. You guys will have to let me know if the game sounds are too loud or whatnot.
Yeah, that's always the challenge. As an audio person, never loud. There we go.
We're at a party!
All right, let's kick right in. So for those just joining us or who are new to Chivalry, we have a summer event, which is a temporary mode using our Brawl game mode, which is another mode that we have inside the game. And it's kind of like a free-for-all, but instead of using kind of your classic weapon setups, everybody starts with the same health. They can pick whatever class they want, and it's more of a bar fight than anything else. In this case, it's an outdoor summer festival fight, you could say.
Heck yeah. Do you want to put us in queue?
Yeah, it should be ready.
Yeah, there we go. I will do my best to answer your questions while playing at the same time. I always give a lot of respect out to streamers and members of our partner program because it is very hard to read chat and also play well at the same time. It's a skill that I'm still developing.
For anybody who has tried the Brawl map, do you have any favorite parts? I saw Catapults as a great comment.
Little catapults, yeah.
We call them the Manapults. They were a ton of fun to start testing. They got some unique sound effects too, actually. Here we go.
All right.
Brawl at Midsommar.
Who in chats has actually seen the Midsommar movie? I actually, personally, am a big fan of horror movies, so I actually really enjoy the movie. But what was funny is when we were doing the teasers for the map, they were kind of spooky, and people were like really concerned about how much horror was gonna be in this update. It's like, I'm sorry I scared you guys.
Marketing plan. It was pretty great. Like just the whole lead up, and then it's just like actually. And then you just kind of with the expectations.
I wish I could, but
Oh no! We have 10 seconds to win this game!
Challenge
I
itself.
think that's gonna happen. I will, however, punch this guy.
I think we can say there's a few reasons. One is that we have some developers on the team, and I think when we were trying to come up with some fun summer update ideas, we explored some options, and this one was a great standout. Just as a potential for something kind of like medium size that we wanted to get to you guys fairly quickly, and I think we had a lot of fun with just kind of what we could do with it, the open air as opposed to just kind of like inside a tavern or something like that. And we are able to add some extra kind of like new things for you. I think everybody really likes the bear hat and the flower crown. I think it's pretty awesome.
I put the flower crown on every single one of my classes.
Yeah.
Did you answer Combo Smooth's question? Why it's named Midsommar? No? Okay. Well, it's basically based on the real-life Swedish event that is Midsommar, which is also what the movie of the same name is, but don't watch the movie if you don't like horror movies, because it's a little... It's you know, it's... I don't even know how to describe the movie, but Midsommar as a name is actually an actual festival that takes place. Not like it does in the movie, and not like it does in our game, but you know, you do get the giant goat that's like made out of wood, and you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's some really unique visuals that you in other kind of experiences.
I think that's kind of the fun thing about Chivalry 2, and it has real-world context, but it's not based in the real world, obviously. It's based in Agatha and, like, you know, regions around it. That you can kind of... you can kind of have fun going to all these different places within a small area. So, like, you know, Sweden can exist inside of Aberfell, which is inside the realm of Agatha, basically. You know,
apparently
kind of
the game's too loud and people can't quite hear me, which is probably a blessing, to be honest, but
hang on.
if I want to talk too much.
Let me see. I'm like, it's so... Hang on. I wonder if I could turn you up specifically. Sorry guys, give me a moment here. I bet I can turn you... Oh... Not very easily. Oh, wait.
Oh, not the flute! The flute is a dangerous weapon in this game.
Talk louder. No, just... Okay. I have the game music at like 1%, which is hopefully okay.
Hey Ouija, yeah, that was one of those things that came on our feedback priorities page from you guys, where we do know about that bug, and that one's being tracked for sure. So.
Hey, Brown Superman's in here. What's up, bud?
He's got to get one of his 16 levels.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite weapons in this mode that we brought to the other mode too, because it was just so good, was the breakable chairs.
I just had a chair too, and it broke right as you said that.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna pick another one. There's so many to use around. It's great.
Okay, somebody named Whole Ass Chicken says, love this game. Thank you, Whole Ass Chicken.
And I love your name. I'm here to burn Moon Moon and chew gum when I'm all out of gum. He means business. Oh yeah. I'll try for the barrel.
Wait a minute, that was you! There's a peasant in my game. How did that get there? guy just sat mid-fight. I wonder, is that like the OG strat to just sit? Oh, bro!
I like doing that in the TO maps too, where it's like not particularly helpful to be doing that, but then you can see who the role players are. Get that some fun.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it before, but Moon and I are both role players. We like to goof around, which we do have people on the team that are like way more serious and higher skill than us. Well, Moon is quite good at the game. I am very average, but I do like to play and just like goof around. You're fourth on the leaderboard.
As a peasant.
As a peasant. Come here.
Come here, everybody. Yeah, so support role is really helpful. I think there's some good classes that generally help a lot with that. And I like that a lot of the special items are very healing based too. So you can have some of the horn as the surrounding heal. You have the banner as more of a long-term incremental heal. You have the bandages, which are great for on the fly and they refresh a little quicker. So there's lots of ways to kind of support other players in this game.
I see some fun suggestions on Reddit about like ways to add a support class. Like there was a thread probably last week about having a bard support class where like they play music and heal people and stuff. You know, it's a fun idea. Not saying that it would work for Chivalry 2, but you know, it's definitely a fun idea where you could like play a little drum and like you'd give maybe a small boost or something, you know, something fun. It's always fun reading community suggestions. Emotional support bard.
Emotional support bard. We need a bard as like a companion pet where it just follows you around and sings your praises or like laments your death. One of the fun things about this map too, as well, when you go onto the mana pellets, you can aim in different spots. Sometimes I intentionally aim into the. And there's some ways to kind of like get on top of stuff. Great.
I gotta come find that. Bees? Bees, anyone?
Oh no!
Bees? Oh no, I'm in the bees! Oh, somebody just
Yeah,
threw
who needs
themselves.
a bard class? And you can have the beekeeper class.
Right? Put that right up there with the fishing class.
Oh, my other awesome favorite addition to Brawl here is just the random horse. You can
Just absolute
you'll have,
chaos,
like,
I think.
these fights through the field, and then I think that kind of was initiated by someone just saying in a feedback session, they're like, wouldn't it be funny if there's just a horse? And I think that was the easy answer. So
I feel like that happens a lot where it's just like, wouldn't it be funny if? And then everyone's like, yeah, it would be funny. And then it just happens. I think, you know, I think Chivalry has a reputation of being, like, silly and fun in a way that, like, makes people just laugh out loud. Like, one of the really nice things about launching on Steam is that we have all the videos and content coming out, obviously, for the launch. And it's usually, or it was a lot of people that hadn't played for a long time, or hadn't played recently, or were, like, new to the game. And seeing their just, like, belly laughter about all of the random things you can do in the game, like picking up a chicken, or throwing poop at people. It's like, you wouldn't expect that in a sword fighting game. It just has,
the other great thing too is it's only as silly as you want it to be. So
yeah,
you can go as being super serious about it, and we have some people who are, like, the best warriors in the land, and then in the same match, you might in another section you might have a bunch of people just. So it's totally optional, and I think we really foster a play style of make it your own. And
I'm drunk and I'm flying and I lost my cup. Somebody on the horse just took me out. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry, princess. I didn't realize you were playing an instrument. I won't. Oh no! I feel like if somebody's playing an instrument, you can't hit them. It's just rude. Stop hitting yourself, legionary.
No, not the flute.
Blech.
Ah, flute. Yeah, I don't think top 4 is working for me this game. I do see some beehives though. Let's have some.
I am top 4 harp player.
That's right. There's so many burning fires in this level too, launching into the
Who is
back.
this? Nice. Here, I'll play you a harp song, Superman. Wait,
And then someone comes in and just ruins it.
can I dance and play harp at the same time?
I don't think it's a hard game.
No. Yo! You made me throw my harp.
Bruh.
Yeah, get in the fire. Storm God of Eternal says Chivalry equals best game series. You know, maybe biased, but I'll have to agree. Blech.
We certainly love it, that's for sure. I think it's important for us as well, as developers, to really like the things that we do. And
Yeah.
we're really lucky to be able to work on something like this, you know?
Ooh! I got the flute. No! Yo! Got the flute.
I think there are some actual torture devices on this mod. Where's the flogging ball? I hope it's still here. I know we had it at setting up tonight.
I feel like who brings a torture device to a festival?
Well, it's Midsummer. It gets progressively funnier just depending on what voice you have when you're actually going on these things too.
Panty 9-3 with the 16 kills. Good job.
It was a good round. Agreed, Zamboni. I think for me as well. Even after I'm done work and stuff too, people can find me on like quite often. And it's a great testament to you can work on this game 8 hours a day, and then your first thought after you finish work is, hey, maybe I'll play a little bit, you know.
Yeah. As much as we play during playtests, a lot of it is, I mean, particularly for you in QA, you have to be working rather than playing. So it's always nice to set some time aside and actually just play and goof around.
Because in the same vein as you can have different play styles while playing as a normal player, I think it also equally applies as a dev, where it's like you can play this to give feedback, you can play this to search for bugs, you can play this for fun, and even just segmenting that into a different bucket gives it a totally different experience each time.
I saw a bard question I wanted to answer. Is it okay to hit someone playing an instrument as sort of their way of asserting dominance over your corpse?
It's hilarious. Someone says, "Oh, I've seen Moon Game before," and then it's like, "Yeah, at the bottom of the leaderboard."
Oh,
There's like a vote kick
ouch!
button over here.
Oh my god, I just got owned by a box.
Oh no, not the chicken! Yeah, flaming chicken to this day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the playing the flute after killing someone with it is super satisfying. Same with the harp. You throw a harp at someone.
No!
Oh, Jesus.
Get belled on.
Pick it up, play it after. I'll avenge you, Jen.
Thank you. I got killed from the, what is that? The death from above. Storm God of Eternal. Just wondering if there's any plans to get us a game mode specifically with only fists. I think probably not. I think Brawl is probably what our, fist fighting game mode will be. But I think there's probably opportunities in the future to elaborate on Brawl as a mode if that's something that people really enjoy. I think Brawl is like a mode for a specific type of people. It's not as competitive as playing Duel is, for example, but I think it's best when you have you and your buddies and you're just running around punching each other and everyone's kind of doing their best but not taking it too serious. I think that's where Brawl fits best, and I think you know, I think that kind of covers that area of game modes, how it is.
For me, I find it as a great intermission game in between
Yeah.
more bigger, serious, large battles. Kind of gives you a nice refresher. Taking it serious after you're talking. Oh shoot, I'm talking now. Okay. Apparently, the insults motivate me quite a bit. This is a complete aside, but many years ago I used to be a gymnast for a long time, and my coach, I was doing bad one competition, and my coach knew that if he got me angry, that I would do better, and I think that's probably applied to my shit face as well.
You just need Brown Superman in the back heckling you.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Brutal. Oh, I don't know
Any
if I've
plans
ever
for more armor and free-for-all customization? So we're always looking at different and more customization. So I think a safe attitude to have is we're definitely looking to add more customization and stuff. Can't talk about specifics, but yeah, I think that'll cover it.
Yeah, we touched on a little earlier about like having more FFA maps, and I think, you know, adding some new stuff overall, well, adding some changes to FFA overall is something that we're interested in doing. We know the FFA community is out there and, you know, wants some attention as much as the other modes do, so I would say stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Oh yeah, your mom voice lines are great. That's one of my favorite things about some of the characters too, is that we have all these different personalities, but then each character has 6 custom personality voice lines as well. So they, depending on which one you have, they'll have different kind of attitudes and say different things depending on what their vibe is.
You just waltzed in there and you almost ruined their fight.
This guy.
I was watching those two guys fight with chairs in the corner. So good.
We don't have a timeline for you guys yet for just to give you guys a bit too that it's in the plan to do another patch before another big update, and we talked a little bit about it before, but it'll contain some popular bug fixes, some map balance adjustments that we're always tuning.
Did you guys see that flying kick I just did? Damn. How did I get so good at this game? Come here, you. Stop eating. You're cheating. Okay, you are wearing a flower crown though, so you get that.
Are there any so far undiscovered Easter eggs?
Yes.
There are quite a bunch actually. I keep waiting to see all the finds, but there are some that people just haven't posted yet. I also think that I've made 2 personally that I don't expect will, if ever, be found. So we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, there was one. I'm trying to think what stream we talked about it in. Maybe when John was here. LD or level design. I forget which stream. We talked about one that was like very convoluted and you had to like stand there for a while to activate it and all that kind of stuff. So some of them are like really tricky. They're not super obvious.
The problem is Easter eggs are like one of my absolute favorite things to talk about, but it's the one thing you can't talk about.
Right?
Like,
you can't spoil
I can't
it.
tell you what it is. I really want to. Maybe if people find it, I'll comment on it after. But
yeah, like the I think not most, but quite a few people know one on Aberfell. I've seen that one on Reddit a few times.
yeah, there was and we have various levels of hidden, you know. So
yeah,
I think
some are more obvious.
The Aberfell one wasn't necessarily something that we expected would be super hard to find. So we have this would be great.
Varying levels of difficulty. There is hidden cows. I think hidden cows is a safe one to talk about because it takes a lot of effort to actually find the hidden cows. So me saying that they exist is not spoiling it as much as you actually have to go and find them.
The
There's
environment artists are pretty consistent with with putting some like similar things in every map and leaving people to find them. And so it kind of becomes where it's like you may know where it is on one map, but then it's a game because it's going to be somewhere else.
I think that there's quite a few hidden or items that we routinely hide that people can find on various different maps.
Yeah, Kaz is one of them. One of my favorites that nobody's found yet on Red Home is definitely there.
It's definitely there, eh?
Definitely there. At first, I wasn't sure because you have to like. I will give one hint. You have to be in a certain perspective to see it, or be able to, see it, quote unquote. So yeah, no, it's tough not to talk about. That's okay. It's part of the job.
No! He had a piece of bread. Who else in chat is in this game right now? I definitely see Brown Superman, obviously. He's been here.
I think Princess was also.
Oh.
I think they said, hello, Twitch.
Oh, I have my chat.
So chat is off for you, so yeah.
Yeah. So if you're talking in chat, I can't see it. So I'm not ignoring you.
I'm getting all the hot goss while you're you're working on.
No! My roof! I feel
Golden
like...
chickens? Yeah, there may or may not be some golden chickens around. Yeah, I definitely put one on...
No! We had an epic battle on the rooftop just now. Anchorman says, I love picking up random tools like pitchfork and then use it for the round. I think that's what Brawl is all about, is picking up whatever's near and just, you know. Oh. Alright, let's go, bud. Shake my chair.
Let's go.
Oh.
It's funny how into it we get too. Just like, this is super serious stuff right here.
I'm doing better this round. You know, I'm learning. I'm learning the Brawl
I'm enjoying
strats.
watching multiple people go on the manipulse at a time and just get lost.
I gotta go over there. I saw one person go flying so far. Oh, there's two more I just saw. Oh my gosh, they went so high.
As you wish.
That was a great fight for that.
Yo!
Yeah.
Come over here, bud.
Shovel Druid, that's a great name.
No! Come back! Oh, he left.
I also want to give a shout out to people who have like. I'm never not surprised by what I see. I think it's.
I just threw an arm at Princess Peach and she died. Just throwing arms at people. Oh! I meant to pick up an arm and now I'm dancing and there's bees everywhere.
Not the bees.
Not the bees, please. Here.
Oh yeah.
Stop hitting yourself.
Uh-oh.
Damn, you're just. That took one punch and I'm jabbed me to my death. Oh, I got a flute now. Recorder. I'm ready to play a song.
You are graced by my presence. Please
Remain
remain calm.
calm.
Yeah, that's the rule. If you're gonna teabag, you only teabag. I live by that. I guess I just called Jen my friend. Don't let her ego get too big.
Wow! We're having a party in mid.
Oh, it's all about the party.
No, I'm on fire. Ended at a good time.
That was perfect.
Yeah, perfect timing. I want to say big thanks to everybody who came out to watch today. I had a lot of fun chatting with you guys, answering some of your questions. Hopefully, I answered all of them. If we didn't, it was probably something that we can't talk about just yet, or I didn't see it, and I'm very sorry. But definitely, keep your eye out on the roadmap, which will be keeping up to date as release dates and things get confirmed. That's
Yep.
chivalry2.com/roadmap, as well as any of our social media, Reddit, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. We're everywhere. You can find us.
Yeah, I'm seeing some really, really early work stuff in various stages of development, and I think it's stuff you guys can get excited about. We won't be talking about it anytime soon. So
uh, Join us
on
again.
that secret
We
note.
will be back in 2 weeks, which I believe is July the 14th. So you'll see us again then. And until then, we'll see you in game, on the battlefield, social media, wherever. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. We had a great time.
Bye. Go play Midsummer. Wear a flower crown.
Make good choices.